Funland has been a Rehoboth tradition for nearly 60 years, and many workers have come and gone over those decades. Would you have ever thought that you could introduce some of those workers from your childhood to your children?
It's awesome. Well, we would like to welcome back Chris Lindsley. He is a former worker at Funland, and he's the author of Land of Fun. How you doing, Chris?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had you here in the studio, so tell us a little bit about how things have been going.
Things have been good. You know, Land of Fun, which I published a couple years ago, was sold almost 4,000 copies. So, you know, I think that speaks to Funland and just the number of people who come there and all of the history and tradition that so many families have enjoyed over 60 years.
Right. So I see you're wearing a Funland shirt. Is this indicative of anything particular, Chris?
It is. Last night, well, let me back up. Due to the labor shortage that a lot of places have been experiencing, Funland about a month ago put out a call to former employees and said, hey, if you're in town and you'd like to work a shift, let us know. And so I'm on vacation. I started Friday. I'm down for another week. And I said, yeah, I'd love to work. So I worked last night for the first time in 36 years.
Oh my goodness.
This was the shirt I got when I got there, and these were the same shirt I wore 36 years ago when, you know, when I last worked at Funland. So yeah, it was great. I ended up working the Derby horse racing game, which is right out on the boardwalk, which was something I loved doing, again, 36 years ago. And
same game? Same game.
Wow.
I mean, part of the beauty of Funland is that they have a lot of the same games and rides that were there when I was there 36 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, I think people view it as kind of a walk back in time in many respects, right?
How about that?
What did you think when you put on the shirt again? For this, you know, or not obviously not the same shirt, but what did you think when you put the shirt on?
I was excited. You know, I loved working there, and I think part of the appeal to this was to help the family because they clearly could use the help. But part of it for me was just getting back and seeing what it was like and seeing if I had such good memories from having worked there before to see how they would relate. And, you know, I think they related very well. A little more tired, I think, last night than I was 36 years ago when I last did it. But, you know, it was fun, rewarding, and just that whole kind of atmosphere of the park is, you know, one of fun. And to see people winning this game, which they do every 2 minutes or so, and the smiles and the excitement, especially in kids, and getting a nice prize for it.
Have people figured out how to win it better than years ago, or no?
No,
not
really. You know, some do, some don't. You know, it's funny how that works, but I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? It's just with the way the ball rolls, anybody can win, literally. And so, you know, and to see kids, younger kids win in particular, is just, you know, that's hard to beat.
It's just great.
Smiles on their face and the joy their parents have and all that.
So did other former employees say, yeah, we'd like to as well?
They've had quite a number of former employees come back, which I think is really a credit to the Fosnacht family who, you know, it's interesting. When I started working there in 1980, the first thing Al Fosnacht, who's the patriarch of the family, who's now 92, said to me was, you're not working for us, you're working with us. In essence, you're part of our family. You know, and over the years, Al came to my wedding. He came to my dad's memorial service.
No, you're kidding me.
And he's done that for hundreds of employees, right? So what I didn't know at the time was that I would be part of that family for life, in essence.
Wow.
So, and I've learned a lot of lessons from Al and his family. So I think this was some small way that I could pay them back. And in talking to other former employees, I think they felt the same way. So yes, I don't think you could do this at every business, but I think Funland has cultivated this family culture that people are like, hey, if you need help, I'm there. Tell me when, and I'm ready to work.
That's terrific.
I love that. Did you eat anything while you were there? Anything from the?
I had some Nicola's pizza. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Yes,
love that.
before my shift, they had some, which was awesome. So
powered right up.
So love that.
Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. Well, a question. Can you stick around for just a minute because we got a bunch more questions?
I can. I'd love to.
Okay. All right. We got a few more questions. We want to find out more. So don't you go anywhere. DelmarvaLife will be right back.
We are back with Chris Lindsley, who is the author of Land of Fun and a former employee at Funland, and we're going to really get down to the good Funland stories here.
All right.
So tell us, you were telling us kind of during the break, you were saying you guys had kind of a little outdoor shower memory from back in the beginning, right?
Yes, when I was working there, and for many years, they housed like 26 guys, full-time workers. And so initially, they didn't have a shower up in the facility. We lived right above the amusement park. They had a shower on the far end of the amusement park. And so the deal was you just went there, took your shower, and then you walked up and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't know my first year was that one of the pranks that the guys liked to pull was they would try to pull your towel off while you were walking back through the park.
Why, that's hard to believe.
Often in the middle of the day, exactly. 17, 18-year-olds never would do that.
No.
So, of course, my first year, I wasn't completely tuned into that. And so took a shower, walked through the park, someone pulled off my towel. I had no clothes on, so I quickly grabbed my towel back and went upstairs, and you know, you saw some of the shocked looks on some of the customers' faces who had no idea what was going on. And so, needless to say, after that, I always had clothes on after my shower, and so that couldn't happen again. But yes, that was kind of part of my Funland initiation, as it were.
And it didn't scar him too bad. He stuck
No,
around.
he came.
No.
He went back 36 years later.
I wasn't the only one that had that happen. So.
Okay. So, is there more? Are there others?
Yeah, I can tell you
Sure.
others.
Yeah.
One interesting story that people always seem to get a kick out of that I mentioned in the book was, at one point, people, some of the Funland guys, used some modeling clay and put it on one of the merry-go-round horses and turned a mare into a stallion. And so, you know, once you see that, right, all the guys knew it, but it took a little while for the family to notice that. So it was on the horse for a couple weeks.
Really?
So guys got a huge kick out of that.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable.
And I'm sure some customers did too, because I'm sure people saw it. But, you know, so that's just part of being, you know, 17, 18, 19 at an amusement park. And, you know, you're living there literally 24/7 during the summer.
And these are memories that you're never going to let go of.
No, I mean, it's just there's so many of those, right? Things that we remember.
Are there any, like, okay, so I'm going to go to Funland, I'm going to play some of the games. Are there any, like, hacks, you know, like the best way to win the game or anything like that? Like
Yeah, there are. I mean, and again, part of the beauty of Funland is that so many of the rides and games have been there since when I was there before. But skee ball, for example, one of the most popular games, banking it off the side is the way to go. You know, you can roll them straight, but if you bank it off the side, you get much more consistent, and you just have to figure out where that spot is to get in the 40 or 50, and if you roll it there, you're going to get it almost every time.
It makes so much sense because I always try to go up the middle and then it like bounces off the wall and then comes down to the the 10 and then
You have much more control that way. In fact, it's interesting. The guy at Funland who's been in charge of the games forever, who could roll a perfect game a lot too, 950s. I mean, just watching him, he's like a metronome, you know, boom, 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 all go in, same spot, bank right into 50. So, yes.
How do I not know this until now?
I don't either. You know, I do have a couple more years, though. You know, I can get good either.
So the reason we're talking to Chris is because after 36 years, you went back to. Do you remember when you were hired the first time?
I do. I was 16. You know, I had vacationed in Rehoboth since I was 4. So as my father actually got to know Al Fosnock, the patriarch of the family, and so one thing led to another. And when I became of hiring age at 16. Al said, hey, if your son wants to work, we'd love to have him. So, I mean, what's not to like, right? You live at the beach, on the boardwalk, working at an amusement park. I mean, games, sun, girls, you know, it was...
It can't get any better than that.
There weren't too many no's on the checklist, right? So it was like, good, we're good.
Before we let you go, we mentioned earlier that it's National Book Lovers Day.
Yes.
Tell us again about your book.
Thank you. Land of Fun. It's a book that, you know, it's really a history memoir of Funland, going back, talking about really how Funland started through now, right? So Funland started in 1962. The Fosnock family purchased the park from someone else, and they've been running it, maintaining it for 60 years. And so there's a tremendous amount there about the history. There's stories from Funland customers at the end of every chapter, and there's just histories about the rides, the games, and what the experience has been like in living with the, you know, and working with the Fosnock family and how they took care of us, how they give back to the community, you know, all of those kind of things. And it's interesting, right? Whenever I mention the book to anybody who has been to Funland, they want it, right? So it's just, and they want to buy several because they want to give them to their kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the rides, there's been 3 or 4 generations of family members who have ridden on, right? So
my
it's like,
goodness.
it's such a great gift in that regard. So I still get emails from people, probably 1 or 2 a week, and they're all so positive, right? And everybody wants to share their Funland story with me, right?
Chris
Which is
Lindsley,
awesome.
author and current Funland employee.
Yeah, go see him. Go
Thank
see
you
him
for
next
coming
Sunday.
back to talk to us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Best wishes.
you.
on
Great to be back.